We're here! It's episode
Hey guys!
101.
Oh, I missed episode 100.
Yeah, we didn't do
Hey, if
anything
it makes you
special
feel any
though.
better, nothing special happened.
None of us remembered it was 100 until after we started, so you didn't
Yeah.
miss
I feel
anything.
How dare I be sick?
It happens.
How dare you be human?
Well, not only was I sick, but then I threw my back out and I couldn't stand for 3 days. So it was
Yeah.
super fun.
Yeah.
Sucks being old.
Yep.
All right, Sadie, if you want to go ahead and give us a recap from last week.
Okay. Oh, I moved my thing, so it's over here now. I'm going to be looking away from you as I recap. Last week in episode 100, I visited the matron and we had a long and winding conversation. Turns out she wiped our memories at our request so that we wouldn't know where the keypiece was, but since we found it in my bag, she's like, well, fuck, that was for nothing. We have to do it all over again. And so we came to an agreement where she would wipe my memory and the keypiece would still be in my bag, or at least that's what I think. I don't know. There's like a little, it was all very confusing. And yeah, but apparently she's our friend now, or at least momentary ally for this fight, which is nice because we didn't really need more enemies. Mitnir went and presented his thing and wound up getting everybody super drunk on accident, but it was a lucky accident because they loved his invention and he's pretty much...
Oh yeah, Simner missed the drinking hammer.
Oh no!
He carved the word strength into a hammer's wooden shaft. But he carved it with alcohol because that was the only liquid available, and it made the alcohol stronger when you hold the hammer. Cool shit. Oren did less well at his presentation. They both kind of fumbled their words, and lo and behold, afterwards they come and ask me if maybe I would be available to help present because neither of them are bards. Then I went to see my dad, and we had pancakes together and something called barbarian cream-filled donuts. And he explained the weave a bit and his role in it, and just gave us some general advice about keeping our heads low and don't go at Primus directly, and And then he said he was proud of the person I became, and that felt weird. I don't know how I feel about it. Because I don't care for him that much, and it doesn't mean anything, but he is the most powerful person in the universe, so it does mean something, actually. Anyway, Brapsy took courses to catch up on her alchemy. Poppy revealed that she's married to Chamomile, and that he tends to sleep around, basically. So she warned me against that. And I was like, are you fucking kidding me? There's nothing, like, he's, ew, gross, disgusting. But that's kind of cool. He's like my brother-in-law, I guess. I don't know. And then at dinner, everyone got their candle except Grim because Brogy showed up in his stead while he was working. And basically, Cleary gave us some information on Mitnir's Dream Dragon, and I need to talk to him before we go to bed for the night. And Flopsy cured Mitnir with her greater restoration. And now he doesn't want to go back to the Fey Grove thing either anymore, so that's good. Sorry, that was kind of rambling, but we got there.
Cool. So trying to pick up where we left off, I believe Bropsy, Mitnir, and Oren are all in her dorm room. I don't know if you guys are heading to your own respective dorm rooms to sleep for the night, but you are no longer itchy from the spores from Zugtmoy that seem to have spread across your scales. But other than that, is there anything anybody else would like to do before going to bed?
Well, after dinner, I follow Cleary.
Oh, you follow Cleary to get the information about what he was making?
Yeah!
Okay, so he's like, oh, you wanted to do that right now.
I mean, you said you'd tell me later. Now it's later, but I mean, we don't have to. If you don't want.
Sure. Well,
If you're busy, I don't want to impose.
Well, I did have a little bit of things to attend to, but I could do that if that was something that you need to do right now. I don't have it on me.
I mean, if you wanted to actually show me, we can arrange for a more suitable time.
Sure.
I just thought
Lunchtime tomorrow, I could show you in my dorm room.
Okay. All right.
Sure. It's agreed meeting of two people. Goodbye.
Good night. All right. Well, that's that.
All right. So he heads off. What were you saying, Vinir?
I was like, are we staying in? Is Aaron staying at Bropsy's place? Like,
That's up to Oren.
yeah, I'm just.
But I'm sure Bropsy's like, I've got little cookies. I've got some milks. If anybody wants any of these things, you can stay here. Azorus is sleeping on the bed, but you can make yourself comfortable on the bedding on the floor. There's just hay everywhere, making little nests.
Just crash here. That's fine.
While we're there, Mitnir, before sleep, like pulls out the knife now that it's finished and starts showing it to Aaron. Like, I was successful.
It's still not finished. It's still like you still have to finish the aquam holding bits, because remember you were still 3% short of finishing it.
No, we did that after.
Oh, you already did that afterwards.
Yeah.
Okay, yes. So you completed it.
You said it's not special or anything, but it's finished.
It feels like it's still like feels like it doesn't have life in it, but other than that, it is a completed. Oh, and Kita's here.
Hey, let me hang up my. Not that it matters actually, but.
So.
Okay.
If you guys are just going to stay the night in Bropsy's place, that's fine.
So how'd your presentation go?
I mean, it was okay. Could have been better if we had a talker with us.
Mine could have gone better too. I used beer as ink.
I mean, we work with what we got, right?
Just opens up the handle and shows that it's empty. It's like, so, yeah. I don't know how many this thing can reasonably fit, but like, we're gonna put Aquam in there, and then I think we're gonna need. Do you have any gem dust?
Bropsy does.
Do you have any
Does
idea
it have
on how to
be a
make
specific kind?
No?
Like a specific gem?
No? It just has to be made into ink.
She has topaz dust.
I think I actually have gem infused ink already. It is for spells I was planning on casting, but let me check. Not that I'm there. I'm not there.
I mean, maybe in the morning. Maybe we'll try and make something. And he just like closes it up and puts it away.
But I do have a bunch of gems, but they're not dust.
Not yet.
We can fix that. We'll just smash them.
I mean, we still have lots of diamonds. Can make some diamond dust.
Just imagine the fact that we have so many diamonds. We're like, yeah, just turn it into dust for random things. Why not?
Sounds fair enough. So unless there's anything else you guys want to do before resting for the night, Bropsy, I don't know if you can hear us or anything, but they are in your room still from the previous night. As it is still the previous night.
Yeah,
When you
session.
previous session, as you removed the spores from Minir with a greater restoration. So moving on from that, Grim, after your work that you have been doing in the meantime, you are very tired, and a short individual that you are very familiar with, Brogy, comes wandering into the area where you were doing your alchemy work and says, there is a candle for you. Brogy brings candle for Mushroom King.
Candle?
It is candle from City 1. What is in
Why do I need a candle?
Yeah, Brogy thinks it smells like mushrooms, probably.
Where did you get the candle?
One good one is the one with very gross body. That's one.
Can't understand
I
any.
can't understand what you're saying at all.
He's even more unintelligible than usual.
Brogy is like drunk.
Really grotesque looking. Right over yours. The weird hair.
Still does not help me. Brogy's like,
Memorize names of these wolves.
I'll
Only
just like
one
kind of
person in our
set
group
the,
has hair.
I'll just set the candle like off to the side because I have no idea what that is.
We flash back to to dinner where Seti's like putting it in Brogy's hand, being like, "This is for Grim. Tell him it's from Seti. It smells like good memories." And then Brogy's like,
You understand me.
and then
Okay.
Seti turns to the others and is like, "What are the odds he eats it on the way home?"
Not zero.
So you get a candle from Brogy.
Okay.
He says, I will go back to working for the day. Mushroom King.
Yes. Okay, great. Thanks for the mushroom. I mean, candle. Been a long day.
All right. So as is there anything else you would like to do before resting for the night? It is post dinner time. Everyone's winding down.
Yeah, not really.
All right. So as you retire for the night, Seti, what is it that you are doing with your usually active
Yep.
before bedtime?
So first things first. Oh, that's what I needed Cleary for. God damn it. Well, I guess I could wait.
You could also just slip into
Okay.
Cleary's DMs.
No, it's fine. He said he's busy. He's got stuff going on. I will take out the giant mammoth tusks
Mm-hmm.
and arrange them around like a empty scroll, basically. And I will set the incense to burn at the four corners, each of the four corners of the scroll, and cast legend lore. And I feel like the smoke from the incense like swirls together and then forms like sooty characters on the scroll that we can then read.
Cool. What are you legend loring?
I'm gonna start with Primus and just see.
So you just
what
throw
comes up.
out Primus.
I don't think I know him by any other names, but I could put Primus, a comma, a headmaster of the Prime Thought, comma, creator of the tower, Selindor. Like, I'm just focusing on all those words that like I've those sort of
So
things.
you're throwing a lot in the Google search bar. You're like Primus plus headmaster plus
Google keywords.
Yeah.
just throwing out a whole bunch of keywords, seeing what sticks and lands. Sure. Is there a rolling aspect to this, or it just happens?
It is pretty sure it just happens. 5th level spell, legend lore. Spell brings to your mind to your mind. I like it better on the scroll though. Brings to my
Then it
mind
can happen on the scroll.
a brief summary of the significant lore about the thing you named. Might consist of current tales, forgotten stories, or even secret lore that's never been widely known. If the thing you named isn't of legendary importance, then you gain no information. The more information you already have about the thing, the more precise and detailed the information you receive is.
Okay. So from what you put in for that information, the information that comes back to you as you see the letters beginning to appear is Primus, the Prime, the One, leader of the Modron race. Residing in Nirvana, holds dominion over all the gears within all of Mechanus. Also noted to being the creator of the slots.
Ooh.
And a myriad
Did you say
of inevitables.
And a myriad of inevitables. Okay.
A myriad of edibles?
Yes, please.
Inevitables. That's the information that you get from what you just put in.
Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and do the second casting as well.
All right.
I'm torn though. Let's put in Northot and see if we learn anything new.
Northot, and you see if you get anything new off of Northot.
Yeah.
All right, you put in Northot. The only thing that comes back is the thing that should not be.
Well, that's not helpful.
Legend lore has its limitations. It's all based on the legends received, and there's not a lot of legends about Northot.
Yep.
There
I'm
is
going to have to go buy
hidden
more
information
incense.
about Northot.
Yep. All right. I'll buy more incense tomorrow. Go back to that stupid smoke shop. All right. And then I think for my... Hang on. I have notes. Sorry. I know I always have a lot to do at the end of the day.
On the plus side, legend lore is significantly less time consuming.
I mean, yeah, I don't have to go like roll investigation checks at the library or any shit thing like that. I don't have to, go interview people around town or anything. Where are my notes? Okay. I think for my overnight, I think I'm due for a visit with my mom, so I'm just gonna check in with her.
Okay. Yeah, you visit your mom. She seems to be doing well. I mean, I won't go into like a full, loving, detailed speech. You guys don't have that much to catch up on, but the stuff that you'd like to talk to her about, you can.
Cleary.
Yeah, boys will be boys. All these, but look at the two of us, falling for the wrong kind of man.
I actually do have a lot of questions about my dad.
Okay.
And I'll tell her about my conversation with him, that we had pancakes and all these different pastries together, and that he described them as adequate. But then intimated that he wanted to have pancakes together again sometime. And then told me that
I think he really wanted the barbarian cream-filled donuts.
Yeah. And I'll conjure up some of this in the dream for my mom if she wants to enjoy a spread of pastries too, because I'm sure Seti's stuffing.
Don't listen to him. These are actually wonderful. I very much enjoy them.
Right? I'll tell her that what he said as we were parting, that he said he was proud of the person I've become and how, what was it? Like my tenacity and capacity for care. Which kind of rhymes, and I don't know if that was something you said or something I just did right now, but and I just want to know. I'll just try to get more information from her about, like, if she knows anything about why he came to her, and, like, more info about, like, her feelings about the whole thing and how it all happened.
Well, it's hard to say for certain. I would say probably because my origin is a bit more potent than a lot of other elves.
Are you telling me that, like, so on, like, my father's side, it's like powerful god, big deal, and then on your side it's like, is there another?
Well, technically, on my lineage side, I don't like to talk about it very often, specifically when they're applying eyes and ears. But I suppose we're quite safe here, and there's nothing your father doesn't know. So we are actually Elegant. Not elves, but Elegant. And the people of the times where we came from spent some time in the Astral Sea. And the Plane of Dreams during a time of great turmoil on the material plane. And then we came here after the turmoil was over, during peace times, as our own planes became significantly more chaotic and active. I won't go into too much detail on it right now, as it's really not that important, but as far as I think we all well know that your father spread his seed about. And I think he saw me as a particularly intriguing species, as it were. Not to say that your father didn't care about me or treat me well, and it was consensual at the time, and I wouldn't say I love him so much, but I have you, and I love you. So I'm grateful every day for him taking interest in me. But he was very upfront about it. He's always been a very practical individual.
Yeah, he doesn't possess a lot of charisma, should I say. At least I can't imagine him having any kind of indirect approach to anything.
Well, I will say he can be very charming given the right circumstances.
Okay, I don't want to know.
All right. It's entirely your prerogative.
Have you ever seen him try to open a door?
Oh no. I don't think there are very many
You'd have to.
doors in the
there
dream
would have
realm.
to be right. I mean, if you were dreaming about the house or something, but yeah, he's really bad at doors. I don't think he's used to going through them.
That does make quite a bit of sense. Being
He's
an
very-
all-powerful being, having doors would be a bit of a...
the whole physical body thing seems to aggravate him quite a lot. And
I
apparently
actually
he doesn't
find that
poop.
quite adorable.
He refuses to
Oh.
poop.
Well, that's not adorable. That's just sin against nature.
I know, right?
Everybody
Like
poops, Seti. Everybody poops.
That's the first thing you taught me when I was a baby. Everybody poops.
Well, you cried for hours after your first poop, and I had to explain to you that everybody does it.
It's a bit shocking, you know. You're like, oh my god,
It was
what
like
just
you
fell out?
lost a part of yourself, and you were very distraught.
Yeah. Well, anyway.
That took a turn.
What else did I want to know? I don't know. I guess it's nice that we can all talk about these things now. And that I know things. Not the pooping part. I didn't need to know that, but I feel like if I'm coming into my own or becoming something more than I was before, it's because I finally can know myself and less is hidden. But it also just keeps getting more and more confusing. The more stuff that happens and the more the time passes. I hope I can visit you in person soon. I don't want it to be unsafe. Not just for me to make the passage, but I don't want to bring any bad guys your way or bring you to their attention. And I just wanted to warn you to be careful and be safe, because the bad guys can invade dreams too.
Don't worry. I'm fairly certain that your father will protect me in case anyone takes any interest. We still communicate quite often.
Well, I'm glad that it wasn't just a one and done and forget about her kind of thing. Did I tell you I found my half-brother?
No, I don't believe you did.
I'll conjure up a little image of Labra.
Oh, wow.
And it'll be
Your father had sex with a mountain.
He'll be like, "Hey, bro, how's it going?" With a little...
A very talkative mountain.
Yeah, he's a lot like me, strangely enough. We get along really well. But I don't... It's weird. We're from such different worlds.
Yes, I should imagine so. But I'm sure it can't hurt to get to know him. He seems nice.
He is. He's nice. And we're working together on some stuff. And he's going to introduce me to his friends, who seem like they might be kind of powerful people. So I'm hoping we can make some more allies. And even if he's not at the caliber that I am, thanks to you, he can be a good resource and a good friend, I think. I don't think his mom was... I don't think they had a good relationship. Anyway.
Thank you so very much for the update, darling.
Want to see you next week?
Sure. I'm certainly not going anywhere else when I'm sleeping. So feel free to stop by.
Okay.
She hugs you and then you come back to focus.
As you're leaving, your dad falls from behind a tree. Oh,
Yeah.
is she gone? No.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. That's it for the day.
All right, so you all go to sleep and dream various dreams that mimic and reveal things about the day that you had before. Nothing revolutionary happens tonight. And as the day greets you, what everybody like to do today? It is some sort of day. Don't remember what they're called in my own world because I'm bad at things, but basically Saturday. You are now less than a week till the competition starts.
I need to buy more incense. So I'll go back to the same place, get another 500 gold worth of incense. That's it.
Sure. Easy enough to do. You know where you're going. Happens. Probably takes you about 2 hours in the morning to, head over that way, get it, and head back.
I
I
need
did
to
want to.
hire a bard for a presentation.
Yeah, so I need to work with Oren on that. But I need to find out when the posting is for what competitions I'm in. Like,
Sure.
the
So
results.
you begin make an investigation. Maybe an investigation check around the High Realm Academy.
24.
Yeah, it's real easy to find. There have been already postings for the different competitions,
Hey!
and the entire team is listed out. I don't have a full list, but you do find your name set down for the Boxbreaker and Wisp Wallop.
So I'm in
Your
Wisp
teammate,
Wisp
your
Wallop with
teammate for
Oren.
Wisp Wallop is for
Is
Wisp
Oren.
Wallop is Oren, and your teammates for Boxbreaker are Mitnir and Celeste.
All right.
They also have listed somebody for alchemy. That's been posted, but they don't have the High Realm Academy's posting for the Artificer's Expose.
All right. So being in Boxbreaker and Wisp Wallop, does that immediately mean that I can't help with his presentation?
Yes, you cannot be the one presenting. There's like a presentation team, and that is considered participation.
Does Celeste have another listing on there? Is she in anything else?
Celeste is participating in the Neo Arcana promulgation.
Oh, interesting. Okay. And
She's on the team. She is not the main presenter.
okay.
Actually, technically, they wouldn't have that one listed yet, though. So, but there's rumblings when you ask, like, "Oh, do you know of Celeste?" And like, in somebody else next to you, she's like, "Oh yeah, Celeste is in the Neo Arcana promulgation."
Gotcha.
Oh my god!
All right. Well, when I meet up with Oren, I'll tell him that I can't help, or that I can't present, but that I can help, and we can do a training montage of speech practice and speech writing and
Talking with flair.
yeah.
Uh,
how to hook them.
Word. Ooh. Okay, so you are able to get that information easily enough. What is everybody else doing at this time? Mitnir, Oren, you guys woke up in the same place with Propsy. Covered in hay, slightly chewed on goods.
Probably just go get some breakfast with the two of them.
Yeah, I mean, so there's the morning breakfast meeting, unless you guys want to go get breakfast all on your own. But I don't feel the need to describe anything specifically that happens there unless anybody has anything they need to bring up to the group. But your breakfast is always paid for in the morning unless you guys want to go do your own thing and just skip the meeting.
No, that's fine. Let's do that.
Yeah.
I don't know if I guess meet up with SETI at some point and see what we can do about the presentation, or if we need to go hire a bard.
Yeah, so as you know, you come up to her, she informs you what she's learned this morning.
Yeah, so unfortunately I won't be able to razzle-dazzle the crowd, which is like my favorite thing to do. But we can ask around and see if there are any other bards in the college. There are a lot of really beautiful people here, at least anyway. So maybe even if you just had like a floor model, like somebody to like present it and be like, that that kind of thing, then maybe it would just draw the eye enough that people would be like, sure, yes, better than those two awkward guys. But I can also give you some advice. I mean, I can write like a little speech or something, and then we could practice it together.
I mean, I would probably read it like a sermon. It's not going to work.
You're not horrible at talking to people. It's just when it's a
Have you
crowd, you
met
have to
me?
really. I think it's just that you lack confidence. You
Well, I'm not going to get that overnight.
yeah. Well, I mean, there is chamomile has a tea for that. But
I don't know if I trust that.
he's reliable enough for a super powerful Fey guy. Yeah, so he's my brother-in-law. I haven't caught you guys up yet, but go figure. Anyway. The thing is, I'm imagining a pitch for this thing, and
I think during this conversation, Oren picked up some cinnamon bear claws on his way here. So as we're talking, my hands turn into bear paws, and it's just a thing that happens.
It's just in the middle of the.
Yeah.
Oh, you've been out that way.
Sorry, these things are just so good.
Yeah. That was really
Did
good.
anyone want one? I have extra.
No, thank you.
Yeah, you find the guy who's selling them from under his coat. It's like,
Yeah.
what kind of pastries you want, man?
Get a hankering for a bear paw.
So I think what you need first and foremost is a vision for what specifically this can be used for and could most practically be used for. Obviously.
Yes, there is. For the artificers expose, they're looking for concept. These are the three things that they're grading on. Is concept. The overall idea behind the invention, both its ingenuity and practicality. This being viewed through the lens of like, does it fulfill a function? You know, and then like specifically, is there already something that fulfills the function in a better way? Do we need this thing? And does it sell? Is another big one that they're regarding. So if you do present this, you want to present it in a way that dignifies its market.
Right. You have to justify its expense, its existence, and sell people on why they need one.
Right. So there's that. Then there's the methodology behind it. Like how well did you put your theories and execute the design? Sometimes they like seeing something that is accomplished simply. Sometimes they like the complexity, the extra gadgets and doodads or what have you. So depending on who your judges are, you could have a myriad of different results. And then you have your execution as the third part. Is just how well you executed your prototype based on your designs and your concept. So how good is the finished product? How well was it executed? You'll be graded on these three things, and I believe there are 4 members on each person's board, and they can give you a ranking from 1 to 10. I think total points that you could possibly get on your invention is 120 points, which could go towards the school. A perfect score would be a 120, but that's never happened before.
Well, so obviously that last point, I think you're in the clear because it is really a wonderful execution of the concept. We all saw it.
Oh, yes.
Performs incredibly.
It's not cheap to make, though.
Yeah, so that could be a hurdle because some of the most practical uses I'm thinking of, like just people commuting, around town, between teleportation circles, for example. I mean, we already have circles, but if you're going a distance from a circle, then you might want to fly there. If you don't have the magic to do so already, that could be very practical. Also military, if you are sending in a bunch of soldiers into a place, they could just drop on these things, and that completely change the battlefield. But
You may want to talk to somebody about getting a permit for a special roadway of sorts to be developed. So I imagine it would be quite annoying if I was walking out of a shop, for instance, and then there were a bunch of super fast, super dangerous hover skateboards going past me. That seems very disruptive to my general day. So,
well, ideally, they wouldn't be ground level.
I imagine they'd be higher up, the same way people fly who can fly back and forth where they're going, and they're just above our heads if we're walking.
Well, yes, that's definitely true.
I mean, I originally just made this thing for myself. I hadn't planned on this whole thing happening.
And it's very cool, but yeah, if we want them to invest in it and win the competition, then we need
If they want something that's simple and sellable, maybe I should just present this buckle band thing.
The feather fall?
Yeah. It's simple. It's just a backup oh shit button if you ever find yourself falling to your death.
It would save a lot of lives, honestly.
Anybody can use it.
But definitely speak to your team.
I would see what Caldwell says, for sure.
But considering that you already presented this idea...
Well, I have to represent in a couple of days, so... I don't know.
We could find out if it would be allowed to change your tag that severely.
I personally find the flying skateboard to be much cooler than the oh shit button.
Oh yeah, it's definitely cooler, but
practicality with how expensive it is could be an issue. Unless you could streamline it in some way.
Talk with your team and find ways to see if you could reduce the cost overall or determine a price point. Just get all the information prepared for the presentation would be the biggest thing.
Market analysis. How much would it cost to make? How much would it have to be sold for to turn even a modest profit? And go from there.
Yep. It's definitely not cheap. I mean, the Aquam alone for this is... Yep. A lot.
Yeah.
I'm certainly try calculating how much it costs you to actually develop this current one. Use that as the base analytics for future ones, and maybe see if you can find a way to, at least theoretically, tie in a reduced cost version for mass production. But I don't think you need to have a prototype for a reduced cost version, just, presentation on how that might be accomplished. I mean, for a prototype, I think this is incredible. It certainly functions very well.
Could definitely make like a smaller version that maybe doesn't go as fast or as high or something like that.
Certainly. Well, things to think on.
Less materials? Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
I'll have to chat with Caldwell.
Has this all been going on during breakfast? This conversation?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Breakfast meeting.
You're sitting over there putting like the Aquam vial into the handle and trying to figure out how to put the acid vial into the handle.
You're gonna need a different kind of vial for that.
Yeah, he's like, so the Aquam one should go in pretty well because it was designed for it by you.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like that one should go in, and then he's like, it's like round peg, square hole type thing.
Uh-huh.
It's like that's what he's doing while this conversation's going on.
I mean, yeah, you're just sitting there like trying to figure out if so as far as I'm aware, there's like one reservoir, right? Like one
there's
reservoir.
like a mixing like
Yeah,
spot at
yeah.
the bottom.
And that's where the
Right.
aquam fills in.
Right. Well, they would all fill into that, and then that would leak into the.
Yeah. So, but you have multiple different sections, chambers within the bone itself
Mhm.
that are different pockets that have different mixtures, right? That are just like where the aquam meets the gem dust and produces
Right. You'd like
infused ink.
twist it and be like, I want 10% aquam, 10% that like you could kind of twist to match it, so
Yeah,
different
right.
ones would let different liquid out amount.
Right. So, in theory, if one of them, like you could have had it so that you fill each one then with aquam to get like the reservoir filled, and then you would put in so different liquid, different thing for each tank. That's also acceptable.
Right. That's what I
But
was thinking. Is just like
it would just probably have a harder time mixing the. Well, I mean, I guess if it's taking on the
It-
qualities of ink, it would be fine.
right.
Yeah, I mean, there'd be no reason you couldn't just pour it technically into one of those sections and then seal it up, and there'd just be acid in there. So
It's one of those like I'm not sure I should just pour acid into the handle.
yeah,
like,
trying to decide whether or not to actually do it is entirely up to you.
Yeah, no, he's holding off on that.
Okay.
Do we have any diamonds left?
Yes. How many? What do you need?
I need to crush it.
You need to crush it into powder.
Yeah, I'm gonna. How do you make gemstone ink?
You need gemstone ink.
Ye-
How much gemstone ink do you need?
He just like tilts the handle and points it at you.
Could I consider that to just be one, like is it one, a standard inkwell?
In theory, he doesn't need the inkwell because he has a different medium that it's using. But he does need gemstone dust to fill each one. And so in order to like the thought process is, and you can see enchanting runes carved into the bone, whatever gemstone dust you put in would create gemstone ink naturally with the device. He just needs gemstone dust, and it looks like depending on the material, he needs like, you'd say it like about 100 to 1,000 gold worth, depending on the material of dust to change any one, just based on your inferencing. So it just depends on kind of like what he's going for like how dense it needs to be. Like,
So
Well,
the big problem was yesterday I didn't have any. I even forgot to put the aquam in, so it was
Yeah.
difficult.
Sure. So, if it's a question of volume, 1,000 gold worth of diamonds is smaller than 1,000 gold worth of rubies.
exactly. So
if
that's
you
what I'm saying.
need
So
a lot,
from 100 gold to 1,000, so a diamond would be, or the most expensive gemstone you could imagine to fill one of these would be about 1,000 gold. Like a cheaper gemstone would be about like maybe like 100 gold in volume.
So I can. This is at breakfast, right? So like I have to go out and buy incense. I can
Yeah.
grab some dust while I'm out too. If we just want to get the 100 gold worth of cheap
I
gemstone
thought
dust.
we had diamond dust.
I believe Grim has it.
Did we determine how many different wells you have in your handle?
That's what I was about to ask you. I don't think we did. I think
Alright,
we
then
knew there was like I would say safely 3. One for like.
Here, go ahead and
etching
roll me a
agent.
d10, and that's how many chambers you get. Reroll ones.
Right. D10.
I know Bropsy has topaz dust. It's in the bag of holding.
7.
There's 7 different chambers. So he has 7 chambers, 7 knobs. So he can have 7 different gemstone dusts in this, creating inks in the reservoir of the handle at one time.
I think it's more like 5. Just because one would be aquam, one well would be aquam, one well would be whatever you're using to etch, like acid if necessary.
Sure, yeah, right.
But either way,
But you have 7. The point is you have 7 reservoirs, which
Right.
you can kind of do anything with, right?
I mean, I guess I could use other stuff, but I know we had a lot of those, or we did. Guy looks at his pocket. He's like, "But I don't carry any of that stuff."
Yeah, I've got all the diamonds. Sorry, that sound is going to keep happening. um, I think we're good. Nope. I'm going to go turn that off because it's driving me insane and I can't focus.
All right,
But-
so SETI just checks out.
Well, I was going to say, how about if you have 5 left, then we do like topaz, emerald, ruby, sapphire, like some cheaper gemstones, and spend like 500 gold on it.
I guess that would work. Good. Just kind of shrugs, like, I made this thing, but I don't really know how to use it yet.
I'm sure you'll figure it out. It looks very impressive, and clearly you did well yesterday, so other people were impressed too. Yeah, if you want me to pick up some dust and stuff while I'm out, I could use a bit of money because I'm running low, but I can get that stuff for you.
What
Dave,
actually
do you have, like,
happened
a-
to all the money that we got from selling when we got rich? Where's that?
We divided
They've only
the
sold
money.
5,000 gold worth.
Yeah, we haven't had like a massive windfall yet.
I thought. Oh,
We
did
just
we
have-
not
We
sell
just
the
have
big
diamonds.
one?
We
You have-
traded the big opal for all of the diamonds.
Oh,
So now we
So-
just have a fuck ton of diamonds, but no
Yeah,
money.
a lot of our currency is locked up
Oh.
in actual gemstone.
it's not.
We have investments.
A big diamond
They have-
investment.
They have a lot of diamonds. You guys have like 100,000 gold worth of diamonds.
Fantasy Bitcoin.
right.
Also,
How-
I
how
think
much
I have to
gold do
check
you
in
need?
with the Black and Delvers for my weekly payout.
I think it's only been like 2 days since we were there last.
I think it's Mondays your
Oh no, because we
payday.
were gone for 2 days.
It's definitely
Was
been a
it-
while.
I believe it's every Monday that you get. So
Monday?
we've
Okay.
just
Yeah,
Yeah,
2
so-
days then.
2 days.
I guess I'll give you 500 gold.
Okie dokie.
Doesn't aren't we given like a budget now that we're aspirants or whatever the heck?
I don't think
Or is
so.
that just clear volunteering
For
his
your
own?
mission, Cleary has been saying that you guys, within reason, have a bit of a budget that can be used to get materials for the mission that you're on.
Oh. Well, he's here at
Um,
breakfast with us, hearing us talk about this.
Yeah. So I mean, that information.
Look at me
just-
remembering something irrelevant.
you guys can in fact try to get Cleary to pay for things via the Nexus budget.
I mean, Cleary,
Oh.
you don't happen to have gem dust on you? That's a
I have some amount of gemstone dust. I use it in my paints that I use for spellcrafting. So yes, I have quite a bit of gemstone dust. If there's a particular amount that you need,
Yeah, I mean 500 gold worth
Just slides the knife over to him.
I mean,
in the cheap shit.
right. Well, Babe, do you have a chart for gemstone dust costs or no? Like for comparative
No.
cost of gems? You've got like so many charts and shit, so I wasn't sure if like maybe you had like gemstone price exchange.
Gem prices. Da, 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 da. So like, oh, there isn't like 100 gold. Okay, like 1 inch diameter would be 100 gold. For not clear what gems that would be for. Somebody made a chart, but it's not actually formatted, so it's just a bunch of numbers and a bunch of gems that are all bundled up together. But things like bloodstone, moonstone, onyx, amber, amethyst, jade, pearls, garnet, emerald, opals, etc. Yeah, I would maybe just, if I was DMing, I would just say emerald, sapphire, whatever. That's all the same price. Like if you spend 100 gold on it, you're gonna get roughly the same.
well, we already have 500 gold worth of topaz dust, so you can use 100 gold of that, I guess, as one of them.
I'm gonna go deal with the kitchen noise.
We used to have other dusts as well, but I don't remember what happened to all.
I thought we used them like on the statue or something.
No.
Oh,
Statues
okay.
need actual gemstones, not dust.
Okay, yeah, I've got it. So roughly you need wait, what? 1/10 face value? You need about a quarter inch roughly size gemstone for each one. So I do have a price sheet that I can use for this. So for a diamond, that would be about 2,500 gold worth of diamond.
That's a lot of diamond.
According to this one's chart, I think they're overpricing diamonds quite a bit, but I'm gonna say, that's what it says. Roughly that. Whereas when you go down to like a quarter inch for like, for instance, emerald, it would be for a quarter would be 500 gold pieces per. So that would be emerald, opal, sapphire, and ruby.
Are they saying quarter inch diameter?
That's what their chart's saying. I'm
'Cause
thinking that's a little high.
That is only that big.
Yeah, that's stupid.
And,
Let's
right?
go like similarly to how they're describing it, but we're gonna change the prices up a bit. So 1,000 gold worth of of diamond, right? And then we're gonna step down to 500 gold of emerald, sapphire, and ruby to fill a tank. All right, that doesn't tell you how many uses it is. Let's just do fill a tank. And then it would be 250 gold pieces of garnet, topaz, or black emerald, or black pearl, sorry. And then it would only be 100 gold pieces of bloodstone, moonstone, onyx, amber, amethyst, jade, or white pearl. Or 50 gold pieces worth of agate, azurite, quartz, hematite, lapis, malachite,
Right.
or
gets
similar
cheaper the more
stones.
common. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So it gets significantly cheaper the more common it is. So that's your scale, but that's how much you need to fill one reservoir, is that cost worth of these things.
Clear. I just need enough that like when I actually use it next time, I don't use beer.
I have the jade and onyx. You just have to crush it.
There you go. So each of those things could potentially have a different effect depending on what you're using it for. So, but that would be more up to the enchanter who's using it. But depends on kind of what you want to do with it, right? So, again, as it currently stands, the enchantments that you guys have had happen on this device from the enchanter that you had from Silverwind Academy that put the enchantment on the reservoir is that whatever you do, it will mix the aquam with the gemstone to create ink in that reservoir, and then you can turn the knob where it runs to then send that down the blade to the mixer, right? Mm-hmm. And that's how it works. Mm-hmm. So that's what your thing is currently capable of. So what each one of these individually would do, you're not sure without the hands of an enchanter who is using them. Potentially nothing. What you did seemed to work, but you're not sure why.
But no, so whatever, if Cleary wants to, if he has cheap stone dust or whatever that he has, that he'll.
Oh yes. So what do you want? Because I've got plenty of different materials. I have a lot. I mean a lot of moonstone. like because I was using Moonstone to make my own thing, and so I had procured quite a large amount of Moonstone, and so I have about 2,000 gold worth of dust of Moonstone, which would do several enchantments for you if you were using specifically Moonstone dust. So
I just
that's like
need-
100 gold one too. So
I just
that'd be
just
20
one,
reservoirs.
one. I don't need I don't need all of that. At least not right now.
Sure. He literally reaches into his pocket and just like tosses a pouch out. He's like, that's about 100 gold worth of Moonstone dust, and it's just like this tiny little pocket. It's like a little BB pocket,
Like a little cocaine baggie of
like a little cocaine
Moonstone.
baggie. Yeah.
Moonstone dust.
It's like yes. I mean that I literally have those just laying around to use for my own personal use. Do you need some of the more expensive ones? I've got some garnet here, and I have some sapphire and ruby, which I use for my own spellcasting. I do not have any diamond on hand, so he'll toss one of each of those to you.
So let's see. Garnet. Could I actually get one more little baggie of Moonstone? I can use that one to kind of practice with.
Oh, sure. And tosses you another baggie of moonstone.
Why are they individually serving sized bags of
'Cause
moonstone?
he uses them for spellcasting.
Mm-hmm.
That's the way his
I mean,
gemstone
awkward,
dealer
he had, like-
sells them.
If he had like the powdered Gatorade box, and had to like scoop dust out each time, like that'd be awkward.
Well, yeah.
That's just the way his dealer sells them, man. Little baggies.
Yeah, his dealer is Seti's brother, so.
That makes total sense.
Okay, so with that, you've got your moonstone dust and other myriad of dusts. Is there anything else anybody else needs? Are you there, Graham? Or are you doing your own thing this morning?
Oh, at the breakfast?
Yeah,
I
what are you
can
doing?
stop by. I mean, like, I can stop by and be like, hey, I'm still alive. You know, that's my thing.
Did Brogy give
Um,
you your candle or did he eat it?
He gave me a candle. I don't know why. He gave me a candle.
It was a gift from me. When you light it, it will smell like your favorite memories.
I don't know what those are.
Well, if you light the candle, you'll find out.
Probably mushrooms.
Probably
Maybe.
something related to mushrooms. We'll see.
You know,
Yeah,
when
don't know
I
if I really want to
when I
invite-
lit mine, the first time, whatever, took me back to my youth and my childhood. But then I found that if I focused on certain people or places, then it would take me to my favorite memory of that person. And for you, Grim, it was that time that you accidentally gave Cleary a heart attack, telling him I needed an operation.
Oh yeah, I remember that. That was funny.
It was really
Yeah.
funny.
It worked really well.
Yeah. So now
But,
I know what my favorite memory of you is.
Yes,
Yeah, I didn't
truly
know
my
it.
favorite memory.
I'm
Yeah,
just
you remember how we almost got you to spend all that gold? It was really fun.
Well, he did spend all the gold, but we gave it back. We won, right? We gave
Yeah.
Did we give it back? I
Well,
don't
that's
remember.
right, because that was before we went and like killed those guys in that competition, right?
Yeah, because they tried to.
And then
steal
those
the
other
money from
guys
us.
tried to kill us. That was a long time ago.
Yeah.
It was right
We've all
downstairs.
grown so much since then.
Yes.
Great. Well,
How's your
have
stuff
to
going?
go.
You're good. Okay.
Yeah, I'm trying to make a new spell. It's not easy. It's taking a lot of work, but I have idea. Hopefully, I will have it ready in time. And
Now-
hopefully, I won't kill too many goats in the process.
I was going to ask if you need help, but I don't know if I want to be part of killing goats. So, if there's
No,
anything,
if I do it right, the goat will just come back. But
right.
yeah, I had to do it right. So
Yeah.
I should probably go to the library again. There's so many things. There's so many factors to consider. It's very complex. But we'll have to do these things if we want to defeat death. So somebody's
Yeah,
got to do it. May as well be Grim.
sure. If you're going to the library, I can give you an enhanced ability to get advantage on your checks
Okay, I mean
for
that's
an
fine.
hour.
Yeah, I'm not usually very good at finding the books I need anyway. So
Or I can go help you look. All I'm doing today is shopping, I guess. So
yeah, no, it's. I don't even know what I want. It's a lot of books Grim will have to read. Do you have anything that'll make me read really fast?
well, I'll give you advantage on intelligence checks. How about that?
Okay, good, because my head is a little fuzzy, because I don't, it's just a lot of stuff, and then Brogy's trying to cut little pieces off of me, which is fine, but
Sure,
just
sure.
another day in paradise.
You have a strange life, Grim.
Well, somebody has to do it. But hey, if this is successful, then we can have a way to keep Orin from dying permanently again. So that's something. They probably ought to use it on Orin more than anybody else. After we test it on the goats. We could test it on Orin if you want.
Unless it's
I mean,
poison or disease based.
genetically speaking, he's probably fairly close in relation to a goat at this point.
That's true, yeah. And, so this could actually be very easily transferable
Head is
knowledge.
in our hands.
Yeah.
But anyway, I don't. Have I even told you guys what the idea, what this plan is, what the spell is?
Well, we.
Not sure. I don't think so.
I think
figured
you've
it was big
documented
goat
with me for
monster.
the submission, but yes.
Do you
Otherwise-
know? Do you know what a lich is?
Yes.
Okay, so it's not that, but it's like that.
Oh, good. Oh,
That makes any
Okay.
sense. So you know how like the lich, he just comes coming back because he's got a magic rock or something, right? Okay. So instead, it's a mushroom, but it's single use, and you don't turn into a skeleton man.
oh, well, that's good.
That's the goal, right? You'll die, poof, you'll come out of a mushroom. But it's very expensive if I
Ah,
can make it work right. So
do
we'll
you-
see how it goes.
Do you turn into a mushroom man?
No, you just, mushroom spores are very similar to animal cells. More similar to animal cells than they are to other plant cells. So, it's closer in
So it's
relation
like-
to.
A new person who, if you ate them, you would still be a vegetarian.
No, you still be a person.
Okay.
No, just imagine. Okay, so just imagine it's a reincarnate spell, but that is triggered. It's conditional and triggered
When
by
you die.
your death. Right, rather it's automatic.
So you
it's
just
single
have it
use.
loaded up, ready to go. Okay, that's
But
pretty handy.
yes, but you can't do it's very complex, and you can't just have like a bunch of those lying around, right?
Sure,
Because that wouldn't
right.
work. Because where would you go? How would your soul know which one to go to? We don't know.
Yeah.
So anyway, it's a whole thing. I have to go read a lot of books, and I'd rather not read the books because I'd rather just stick my hands in the dirt and learn that way. But
Yeah.
fortunately, I'm not an expert on lichdom, so.
Well, I've
Yeah.
studied a little bit of resurrection magic. Not a lot, but I guess after Orin, I think I've helped you as much as I can, since I can't be involved in the actual competition. But you have my thoughts, and if you want me to write a speech for you to give, then I can do that. But maybe see if there's somebody else in the college that's available.
Yep, I gotta go talk to Caldwell.
All right. And then I'll do my shopping later. And I'm supposed to have lunch with Clary, but until lunch, I can help Grim in the library.
Yes, fair
Okay.
enough. If there's anything anyone else needs help with, I'm here. With that, I suppose we should break for the day until I see you all again. Good luck and fortune favor you, which is the same thing. Okay, goodbye.
All right.
All right. So, as everybody begins heading off to do their own things, what is everybody doing with their day? Obviously, steady shopping,
And helping Grim.
and helping Grim. That should cover you till lunch. Propsy, what are you doing today?
What do you think?
Go ahead and roll.
Can you give me a moment though, because I was feeding. Sorry.
Okay,
Could take a break.
we can take our break. It is about break time.
Yeah.
So I guess we'll go ahead and take a break, and we'll be back in about 5 minutes, guys, to hopefully make swift progress.
We spend too much time at breakfast.
So much time at breakfast. All right, I tried to speed it along this time, but everybody wanted to talk, so it's cool. It's good though. It's good. Still good RP. All right, see you guys in 5. And we're back, everybody. So, Propsy, will you go ahead and roll me for your alchemy for the day?
Yes.
And also for yesterday, right?
No, she was there, right?
She was there for that.
Yeah.
I don't know if you added it to your sheet or not. Just make sure you.
You'll check.
I think she did good on that.
Yeah,
one.
I know you got time and a half. No, you did. You had time and a half, and you spent
Yeah.
all
Which is
of your
great
day doing it.
because today I only got an 11.
So you got an 11. So today you do you get reduced efficiency on what you learn. So you get 6 hours.
Okay.
You're a little bit out of it. You stayed up late last night hanging out with Mitnir and Oren, and you just don't absorb as much information. Okay. But you spend most of your day working on that. Mitnir, what are you doing with your day?
I'm gonna head to the Nexus.
Okay. So Mitnir's heading to the Nexus. Is there anybody who would like to accompany you? You're telling anybody or anything like that? Or are you just going to yourself?
You're just going.
Yeah, just now that I remember the name of the dragon in my dream, I'm gonna try and go find some information.
We did say
Okay.
buddy system though.
Even.
I mean, the Nexus. What's the worst that could happen?
Sure. You head to the Nexus. What are you doing there?
Everything.
Where are you looking? So that takes you maybe 20 minutes to get the teleporter, and then you know which sequence to put in, so you end up at the Nexus.
I guess, I don't remember the different gemstone things, but head for I guess the celestial one or something. Start with.
Yeah, so that one should be like a golden colored gem.
Just head that.
I have them written down somewhere, guys. I'll find it. But hold up, I do have them written down somewhere. Oh, I do. Yeah, gold. It's gold.
See, you remembered it. You didn't need the notes.
Yep. So as you go and you find the one that has gold and you look, you can see spreading out above you. Today it's sort of different every time you look, but the one today seems to be like a kind of fallen away a section of mountains that are just sort of stacking on top of each other and just glittering with gemstones. The whole thing is just glittering with these vibrant gemstones.
I know where to get gemstone dust next time.
So as you step through, you do once again find yourself sitting on this sort of pavilion that's overlooking, but instead of whatever section of mountain it was before, this time when you look out, you see a different mountain face with this, and then lost in the clouds. So it's just a different section of the same layer that you were in, or different layer rather of the same plane. But as you walk in, you see hammering away, still and always, is Ord. And as you sort of approach, you see a winged individual sort of flies up to you and says, "Is there anybody that I could help you, sir?"
Yes.
This individual has a long trumpet hanging on their back, and sort of like bluish skin tones, like blue-green, cool skin tones to their flesh, but large wings on their back.
Do you actually use that horn?
Only in times that it's required.
Right. Not what I'm here for. I'm trying to find information about someone. And I thought this
May
might
I
be a
see
good
your
place to
clearance
start.
level? Obviously, you were able to enter, but
Pulls out the
aspirant. I see. Well, I have been instructed to help you in any way possible, up to a certain degree. So, what is the information that you need? And he pulls you off to the side, and you see that there's a couple of little desks. It's not quite like going to the bank, but it's a little bit like going to the bank. He pulls you off to a desk to the side and sits you down.
I'm looking for information about a dragon.
A dragon. Is there a particular dragon you are interested in learning of? I have quite the bit of knowledge. He pulls out a couple of tomes and... I'm sorry?
Marduk.
Marduk.
Yes, that one.
Specifically, as a dragon. Well, you're really pulling on some old information, aren't you? There was an iteration, an aspect known as Marduk. Four-eyed dragon. Lots of horns. But a rarity to be known as such. May I ask where you happen upon this information?
I dreamt it?
He looks at you, looks you up and down a little bit and goes, very interesting. Your nature is quite resplendent deep within, is it not? Well, information regarding Marduk I can disseminate, but it will be a moment for me to request.
Great. Thank you.
So he turns around and he pulls the horn off of his back and just goes... And you see that there's kind of a low echo and it kind of ripples out. And after a few moments, a dragon flies up. You can just see it coming and it just swooshes up and its head just... Full-size dragon, big metallic scales flaring off its face. It says, "What reason have you called me, Ascaris?" I have a request. Dissemination of information for this individual here. State your name.
Mitnir.
Mitnir has been requesting information on a dragon known as Bahamut. In what reference? The dragon Marduk? So a very interesting pool. I shall speak to my master and see if the information can be processed. Very well. And then the dragon disappears into the clouds. He should be returning in a moment.
You guys just have a dragon just hanging out?
Oh, several. The second layer of Celestia.
Oh.
Did I get you something while you wait?
I think I'm good. And he just kind of sits back and playing with the knife, just kind of getting familiar with the actual workings of it.
He just watches you completely dispassionately. It'll take a few minutes while you're waiting for this dragon to return. So, in the meantime, Oren, what are you doing with your day?
I'm call up Caldwell and see if he wants to meet up and have a chat.
Yeah, sure. He meets you pretty swiftly. It says, "Oh, congratulations on congratulations on your assignment for the pentathlon."
The
Wistfall's a good one. Yeah. I mean, I know you did pretty well, but that's great.
Kind of dominated that one.
Yeah, I heard. Yeah. Hitting the orange wisp is... I mean, they're harder in the competition, but even the practice wisps that's a hell of a strike.
Yeah, I got all the big ones.
Well, what does he want to talk about?
All right, so Seti can't really help us. She could
I
write
saw
us
she
a
was double
speech
booked already.
But I don't think her writing us a speech is really going to help because we still won't be able to deliver it very well.
Well, we can deliver it to a degree. I think we were really unprepared on what we had for going to say. I mean, I wasn't thinking about it too hard, honestly. I was more
We're the behind the
interested
scenes
in.
guys, right? We need a presenter. We got to hire somebody, I think.
Well, we can certainly talk to people within the academy, and I'm sure we probably don't even need to hire them. I mean, as
Or,
long as
you
they
know,
actually.
recruit someone for the team.
Problem is, much like you, I don't talk to a lot of people around here, so.
What if is there like a bard professor we could talk to? Maybe he's got like a star pupil or something that could.
Well, I mean, within our immediate school, no. There's no bard professor in the Celestial Academy, but in the Greater Academy, there are several bards that teach a large amount of music theory and magic through instrument, but and song. I'm not sure specifically who you would like to talk to, but yeah, I mean, there's definitely going to be something listed on the Prime catalog this week for at least one sort of bardic college or something of that matter.
Maybe we could check that out, see if there's any high realm students.
Oh, you mean just like attending a bard class? Just kind of
Yeah.
like sit in, see if we can. I mean, it's a good plan at any.
We can
All
always
right.
chat with the professor after class and see if he has any or knows of any celestial or high realm students that are doing well in the courses or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, sure. Let's hit up the halls of erudition, see if we can go scout us a good talker.
It's either that or I could just go ask the headmaster, but I don't know if I want to bother him with that.
Yeah, Headmaster Eli's a bit grumpy when it comes to being interrupted when it's not the right appropriate time. I mean, to some degree, I have a little bit of pull, bit of as I'm one of the representatives for the school and recruitment, but again, there's only so many favors that I can call in with that big guy.
We do have another option. Is well, even if I don't know if it's an option, but I do have another device we could present that's easily mass producible and cheap to make.
I mean, sure, if you want, but like, frankly, I'm pretty tied to the Zephyr board. I mean, we worked on it for weeks, and it's pretty damn cool. I mean,
Yeah.
I'd hate to, especially for something I didn't have a part. I mean, like, if you want to present by yourself and move forward, but I can't be part of a presentation on a device I didn't work on, so
That's true. Yeah, I don't know.
it's just not for me, you know. Like personally, I'm invested in the Zephyr board, but and I understand if you don't think our project's
I
going
mean,
to
I
be enough to push
originally
forward.
was just making this for myself, right? I didn't know all about all this competition stuff before.
Yeah, I know I dragged you along into it, but it's a cool device. It's a cool board. And the only reason I helped you really was because I knew it was something special and we could make use of it.
Yeah.
Myself personally, I'd love to get as good on it as you are, and like I can't fly around like the rest of the Celestials do, and that give me a chance to enter the same kind of combat they do, and at least I don't know, just it's fine, you know.
All right. We'll see what we can find out.
Yeah. I mean, worst case scenario, if we can't find a good presenter and you really got your heart set on it, no hard feelings.
Well, just so you know what the other thing is, it's this little buckle thing, and I'll hit the buttons to unbuckle it, basically, and be like, it just lets you do like a feather fall once a day. So, you know, if you find yourself falling to your death.
Certainly useful. I mean, you could probably sell those at Engelman's. Probably just make quite a lot of money off of them.
I don't know if I want to sell them there.
I mean, well, yeah, sure, you could sell them in a smaller place. I'm just saying, if you want to go big retail, that's the best way to make the money fast. But otherwise, in the meantime, you're still going to need a presenter, right? So,
Yep.
I
So
suppose
check
let's
the
hit up the halls
catalog.
of irrigation. As you guys are headed down there, City would still be shopping. Grim, what are you working on this morning?
I'm going to the library.
You're going to the library. So you spent some time in the library looking up information. Go ahead and make me an investigation check.
I'm
Okay,
supposed to
but-
be there to assist him.
Yeah, you'll probably
Yeah.
come into the second half of his
Okay.
studying.
Okay, so do I have it? No, because it's just it's a skill check. It's not an ability check, right?
Correct. It is a skill check.
Okay,
Well, if it's intelligence based, then you get advantage.
19. Really? Does it work that way too? Is it skill checks still?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Enhanced ability. It's
I can
every
roll
enhanced
it again.
Are
ability.
you using enhanced ability? Yeah, I didn't know what you were using specifically. Yeah, you should be getting advantage still, I think.
My first roll was better because the second one was a 5. So 19.
Okay, cool. So what specific information are you looking for?
So, I mean, one, I want to know. Basically, I want information about imbuing like an object or plant or whatever. Like what the process would be of like casting that on something. Like things like that, or like you would cast a spell on an object and it store it for that time. So something along those lines, like just to see like how do other people do this with other types of spells that are doing the same kind of thing, so that I know like what the actual like ritual process would be to create it. And then I guess I don't really need the mushroom stuff because
Is it pertaining to resurrection magic itself, or is it pertaining to magic that is used for the enchanting process, or taking an ingredient and making it into a spell in general, like the spell crafting process that you're interested in?
It's more it's both and sorry, I got Blizzard.
Hell yeah. I will say with a
yes.
19 with this information, the first things first, you
answer
do
is
find whisperings in a book of a spell for wizards, the one that you now know about. You find whisperings in a book. You do not see the structure of the spell or anything, but you have heard of a wizard who pursued such things and accomplished making a spell, but you're not sure what the aspects of the spell were, the process that went through it, or how it works. For spell crafting specifically, you do find a lot of information on a bunch of different myriad ways of creating a spell or using material components to create a spell. First of all, is finding the essential nature of something to cover all the requirements for the spell. For instance, if you need to cast a fire spell using something that has a similar essence, is used as conduit in general. And that's where material costs for spell components and those sort of things come in. But there's also a myriad of different ways in which you can craft a spell from the ground up, using runes and using language, using music, using all the different sources of magic in existence. So there are so many different ways of crafting and creating spells. Harnessing through nature is your general means by which you do spell casting, mostly through the use of spores. So,
right, like is there like herbalism and alchemy related ways of infusing things? Because that's kind of what he's after.
So with what you know about alchemy and herbalism, you do know the basis for creating magical effects using regions and natural materials. That is sort of your specialty. So you know basically how to do it. But creating a new spell from scratch, especially something like this, you find crossing into the necromantic school of thought would probably be your best way to move forward. Is by trying to apply necromantic theory to druidic practice. So
Yes.
that's sort of where you are when SETI shows up and sort of helps you. Is that you're reading a book called Necromancy for Dummies, and SETI walks in and sees you with this black tome in your hand. It's not obviously called that, but virtually. And a little tube comes out and says, "Is that way I can help you today, madam?"
Oh, I'm here to help him with whatever he's up to. Hi, Grim, I'm here. Sorry,
Mm.
took longer
Tell
than I
him to
thought.
clean up after himself.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, it's a blizzard.
Yeah, you can't contain a blizzard.
No. So I mean, I think I kind of understand it, but I think in order to make what I need to make, I think I'm probably gonna just have to go into the cauldron, right? Because I don't know if I have time to do this.
For the time dilation. Yeah, maybe. Let's take a look. Can I just go over like what he's learned so far and see if I can come up with anything new that would like help further?
I mean, yeah, sure. Like you get the information basically that he's got. I'm sure he can recap you on the mushrooms that he's found and the one
Yeah.
you were there witness to help him find. And
Grim has a little picture of like a black cap devourer and a biting blood cap and a vague spore with like little pluses and a little equal sign and like question mark, question mark.
Yeah, so
the part he is he's found things that can take a piece of this, a piece of that, but he's got to find a means by which your soul is then tethered to this, like other than just and to control it and make it useful for his purposes. Like he seems to have an idea of what he needs, but he doesn't have the process figured out yet.
Could I maybe draw inspiration from like soul jar spells or artifacts or Sim doesn't have any solutions, but SETI might, or might be able to hone in the research a bit further.
Well, you can certainly help him. He did just find information about this clone spell, which seems to have
the gist of what he's going for.
Yeah, I gotta figure out what they do with that.
So they might have more secrets than to help speed along this process.
I need to figure out if there's anybody who has done it. If they're around it, I can go just be like, "Hey, how'd you do this thing?"
I'm
Somebody
sure.
has to know, right?
I mean, especially in House Necrom, I'm sure.
What about what's his name? He's a wizard, right?
Cleary?
No, the squid face guy.
Oh,
This seems like something he would know about, right?
Yadrisma?
Probably.
No, he's undead though, isn't he? He probably wouldn't need a spell like this.
Well, but they do know a lot because their mind is connected.
Idrisma certainly would know a lot about making any kind of phylactery, considering he himself is a lich.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, we probably should go talk to that guy. That would be.
Yeah, that's a good thought, actually. Probably
he would probably know more about a spell like
through
that.
all these
Yeah.
books.
It's been a while since you guys talked to Idrisma. That's you've had a lot other things going on, and he sort of fell away from the limelight.
He was our go-to fracture guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I could
want to go
him,
visit that guy?
Let's
he would know. If anybody's gonna know, it's that guy.
Yeah, let's see if he's available. I don't want to just barge in on him. So I can just send a message to Idrisma.
Do I have him on my cell phone? I might.
I don't mind spending the spell slot.
Yeah, you've got him on your seal. Yeah.
I don't have his name on there, but I think that's only because I didn't know how to spell it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we added him for helping us with fractures.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so you buzz up Idrisma, and Idrisma, you can see like there's darkness going off in the background, just like a whole bunch of humming noises and like tunic fork sounds. And he goes, "There's been now a while."
Yes. I was reading.
You haven't come by new shop at all, as you promised.
Sorry, we've been in another plane.
Oh my god.
Plane.
I have been informed.
I would like to come look around though, and actually Grim wants to talk to you about some necromancy shit.
Yeah, I was reading. I was reading in the restricted section.
I understand. There will be an opening. You see he closes his eyes for a second, and then everything behind him vanishes and just becomes muddled and weird, and you sort of see like twisting things in the background for a second, and then you see like his shop kind of surrounding him. He's like, and then there's almost like a little bit of a bright light, and he says, "Turn it, section 5.
I didn't understand any of that.
He said, turn it
I'm having a
section
hard
E5.
E5.
All right, we do that.
You guys look around the library and you see it's like D6. So you go up a level, turn around, and you look and you see that there was just this little section as you guys try to pass it. And you see that there's like, you can't quite look at it, and then you sort of turn your vision. And you've experienced this multiple times, Teddy, so you're used to doing it. It's a similar sensation when you were trying to look at the wolf-like member of Inveruna.
Mm-hmm.
And you turn and you look and you see that straight falling between two sections of bookcases, there was just like a little dark crack. You begin walking towards it and you see a familiar hill walking up to beyond the pale.
Well, that is a really neat trick. I should talk to this guy about the planar shit too, but maybe not today.
Yeah. No, not today, but planar travel would be very helpful for us.
Yeah.
Not having
Safe.
to jump into little puddles.
As you guys approach, you see that he opens the door, just opens for you. You don't see him there, but the door just swings open for you as you approach. And as you walk in, you see Drisma just sort of hovering there above the ground, just going, I need to make tea.
Thanks for making time for us.
Oh, it is good to job with you.
Yeah, we're gonna.
And he begins like stirring like a little cup.
We're getting ready for the what's it called? What's his
academic pentathlon?
That's the
yes. I've been informed by the nexus of your ongoings.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, there's been quite a lot of those lately.
Lots of them, yeah.
I am in fact a headmaster.
That's right. I forgot about that.
I didn't.
I thought you were just like the cool undead illithid guy, right? That's what.
And he begins pouring you guys tea, and you see one of his tentacles comes down, and he's mixing it with his tentacles, and he's got his hands just kind of like under his cloak. And he's not like putting his tentacle in the water. He's got like a spoon that he's holding.
I know he's holding a spoon.
Did you see my flying goat monster? Did you get to see that?
I wasn't able to see it while it was alive.
Yeah. Primus turned it into a puddle, so.
It's his nature to destroy what he does not understand.
Yeah, it was messy. And I worked really hard on that weird goat monster.
Yeah, bit of a...
That's okay, we still got
Well, what is this you were speaking about? Necromancy. And you see his eyes kind of like spread. Again, he doesn't like his mouth he doesn't smile or anything. He's just got tentacles and he's just sort of looking at you, but he sees his eyes kind of wide and beady for a minute. And then as you begin
like
to...
a person asking if you have cocaine.
Yeah. As you guys begin to talk to your Drisma about your necromantic information, I want to slide back over to Mitnir. Mostly because I forgot what he was doing.
I'm
in the Nexus.
I'm in the Nexus waiting for information on
Marduk.
Yeah. As you guys are sitting there, and you're having this like sort of like 20-30 minute awkward silence with this winged individual. He's just like sitting there and he pulls out a cloth and he's just wiping his trumpet. And it's like a trumpet with like no, none of those like little dealies. It's just like a one-note trumpet kind of thing, just like a big long tube. And then he's like, "Nice day."
I guess so. Is this what is this what you do every day? Just sit in here?
Oh, I have other duties, but on this particular day, yes, this is one of my. I have returned. Oh, thank God! He turns around, and you see the dragon, and he begins like whispering with him for a moment. He's like, "The information may be disseminated to this individual upon their request." Very well. Do not bother me again today. He flies away. Well, I suppose we won't bother him again today.
What if we have another question?
Hopefully, we do not require his aid in such a matter.
Okay, fair enough. So,
Right. Information concerning Marduk. It was an aspect of Bahamut during a specific time and a few iterations of the multiverse. Well, a few iterations within the multiverse. Different planar spheres on different levels and different levels of existence. That was the happenstance for one known as Bahamut, the Platinum Dragon.
is that it? Is that all you got?
Is there any specific information you wish to peruse? I am meant to answer questions as they are
Right.
put through.
Why would I dream about him? Or he be in my dream?
According to the information that I've received, you have some sort of connection with him.
Huh.
I'm not sure as to what the nature is. That information is not available to me. But
That's
you
like
have been given higher privileges than most individuals, even within his own court and palace.
That mean? Just whispers that to him, like, what do you mean higher privileges?
Even in some of the other dragons that call his palace their home, he would not share such information about himself.
Right. Okay. That's interesting.
Are we looking specifically for the history of Marduk? It was definitely the dark times of the dragon known as Bahamut. There was a Uthric god from that particular pantheon who had a lot of time spent in conflict with Tiamat. Under those circumstances and the different iterations of the multiverse that I'm currently aware of, those were the two appearances of the name Marduk.
So, still generally good? Not like a bad thing to be, associated?
In the pursuit of order, justice, as is the purview of the Platinum Dragon, even during his darkest days, he simply pursued justice with more fervor. But to say that he caused quite a bit of destruction during his time in his prejudice against those that would do wrong, he did claim the lives as Marduk of more than 1 million souls on the world.
I knew I'd make a good judge. Is he supposed to be alive or dead now?
The power that is known as Marduk is currently a dead power. He no longer perceives that aspect of himself, but it is all part of the remnants of the celestial dragon known as, the deity Bahamut.
Right.
Makes his home on the second level of Celestia, Silver Shores.
Okay. Second question. how easy is it to make passageways, doorways to other planes at various depths?
That is a very complex question.
I'm surprised you couldn't even get the words for it. So,
To be honest with you, making planar doors is something that is possible for any sort of planewalker or deity to do. To create them, instigate them, especially within Selindor, is often a chaotic process. To open a doorway to a specific plane, yourself within Selindor is quite a task. However, the scenery of the Nexus and the bands, as they are for each route of the Nexus, that turns a piece of each plane of the outer planes, you will see that on certain days, you are capable of accessing any myriad number of places within the outer planes themselves. Whereas access to the lower elemental or astral ethereal planes is more easily accessible via normal plane shifting means.
So what would you say if I knew a portal existed into the second level of the Silver Shores that didn't previously exist?
I would say, as long as the individuals who call such a place their home are aware of it, it is no real problem.
Right.
Um,
Okay. I think I've learned something today.
of course.
I might be back tomorrow with more questions.
In any way that I can help you.
Do I need to like tip you or anything? Like how's this part work?
No, I'm just here to help in any way
Oh.
possible.
Okay, thank you. And we'll head on for the rest of my day.
Okay, so to actually to help clear some things up, there's a Silver Sea and the Silver Shore, known as the Silver Heaven. It's Lunia, but it's the Silver Heaven, and Bahamut's Palace is on the technically first, not second layer of Celestia, and it is known as Lunia. Is the name of that layer. Just wanted to clarify some stuff for myself.
Okay. Retcon doorway to the first layer instead of second layer.
Yes. That was my bad, because I remember I was like, hold up, is it the first or is it the second? So I had to Google it real quick. But there you go.
Cross that off my legend lore list.
Yep. Silver seas, which are well occupied by celestial whales.
Ooh, fun.
Space whales.
That's actually what I was thinking.
Well, they are. They're space whales. They can often they show up on those shores from the astral sea. Okay, so that's the information that you have collected from the Nexus. Is there anything else you would like to do before you head out from there?
No, I think that's all I got question wise that I can think of.
Cool. And as you head out, we will move on to Orin. You are parsing through the halls of your edition and you are looking at the Prime catalog. Make me a Arcana check to sort of figure out, as the Prime catalog's whole deal is to make you have to figure out where the classes are. That's half the challenge. If you're not clever enough to find the classroom, then you don't deserve to be there. That is the motto of the halls of your edition in general, and the Prime catalog specifically.
Said Arcana?
Yes.
Ooh, nat 20 for 24.
You find that there are 3 different bard classes. One is well, not even bard classes, but things that pertain more or less loosely to what you're looking for. There's a class that is given on the introduction to primordial music. There is another one that is on the language of the Celestials. Not celestial as a language, but the language of the Celestials, which is a strange inference for you to see the way that it is laid out. So it's a weird descriptor. It kind of catches your attention. And then the last one that you see that seems relatively user is Rock Out with Your Cock Out is the name of the class.
I'm gonna go sign up.
Well, what do you think, Caldwell? Which one should we hit? We could go to separate ones, I guess.
Personally, I would prefer not to go to Rock Out with Your Cock Out. I don't know what class that is, but I imagine it was instituted by the Feywild teachings on one of their subsidiary. So I would like to avoid that, please and thank you.
Yeah, I don't know if we'll find what we're looking for at that one.
I'm more than happy to head to either of the other two. Language of the Celestials. Sure. I don't think there's anything I necessarily need to learn myself there, but we could definitely keep an eye out.
Okay, well, I could go to that one if you want to do the other one.
Music of the Primordials.
Sure.
An introduction to. Well, I'm very intrigued to find such information. Thank you. Well, I'll meet back here after lunch.
All right. Let's go to class.
All right. So as you guys head into your respective classes and you find the place, you step into Language of the Celestials. While you move your way in there, and then you find that there appears to be some sort of fox-like creature sitting at the head of the room. He's wearing robes, and he is hovering a few inches above the floor. The room does start to fill up with a couple of different students, a variety of different individuals, and most of them don't appear to be wearing the robes that you would typically be looking for that school, but you do see a few individuals that are wearing that.
I'm not even wearing my robes.
Yeah, you see only two individuals that are wearing robes from your school out of all the individuals that are there.
Okay.
But the class starts, and they begin talking about specifically the use of runes and the use of melody, specifically by different archons for the creation of magic that fills the air and is used for both not necessarily enchantment, but for the use of just willing miraculous phenomena that Celestials use. So rather than acting magic or anything in that sense, or a spoken language, it's the use of the language of Celestials to create and instigate miracles based on their own power. So it's very there's a lot of jargon and stuff going on while they're talking, and go ahead and make me a wisdom check to see how well you interpret the information, or if there's anything specifically you learn.
13.
13? This is a hard class. A lot of it keeps switching between common and celestial, which is easy enough for you to follow, but every now and again they'll use primordial phrases whenever they're talking, and you can see that they're pulling all sorts of runes and stuff and writing them on the board. And then there's also melodic sheets written out and thrown in. And it's just so much chaos almost going on in front of you. And this fox is speaking so fast.
Well, we'll
It's like,
say if he's speaking primordial, I understand it. But if
Okay.
he's writing it, I don't know what it is.
He does a bit of both. So he'll write down the primordial, and then he'll speak it. And basically, the interesting thing that you do glean is you recognize a lot of similar symbols on this board to what is on your body, or at
was,
least
anyway.
what was on your body. And it begins to, like, a lot of the information that you get sort of like falls into the theory of just like how archons exhibit their will upon the world, and how different angels do the same thing, willing their power through like divine spark and through their own use of language and melody. It's a very interesting class, but doesn't necessarily yield you any real information as opposed to like what happened to you, but it gives you like a vague concept that some of these theories might have been put into practice.
Cool. At the end of that class, I want to go up to the prof.
Okay, so as you approach the professor, he says, "Oh, well, it's nice to see you. You are new to one of my classes, first auditing?"
Yes. Thought I would check it out. Turns out, I was kind of familiar with this stuff.
Interesting, intriguing. I do see celestial spark within you. Very intriguing to see one of your kind here. I'm known as Professor Sly. Nice to meet you.
I am Oren. Nice to meet you as well.
Well, I hope to see you about some other time.
I had some questions if you have a minute.
Oh, certainly, walk with me. The platform is due to, well, deconstruct any minute now.
Of course.
So he begins walking out the room with you, picking up his supplies. See already parts of the room are starting to like pull off and place themselves back into the further wall.
So, like you know quite a lot about runes and whatnot, it would seem.
Oh, yes. The use of runes by primordials and by celestials is very intriguing, especially since it's not necessary under most uses of magic or influencing of miracles, as I said, as they would generally need to do. To do such is to allow permanence in the world, a mark that is unmarred. That can't be changed or influenced by other things. It is sort of a concrete warding that they place to say, this is of my celestial nature, and the power behind it, the influence behind it, is as concrete as the heavens themselves.
Yep, that's a lot. You ever seen something like this? And I'll show the rune on my chest.
Oh. I'm actually going to roll action for this.
I'm sorry, are you doing this in like a public hall? Just like
Yep.
flashing your man titty at him?
Yep.
At teacher?
Yep.
Okay.
Says, oh. Well, it's no language. The rune itself, well, these few runes that you have here, well, they're incomplete for a full spell. They seem to be part of something larger. Do you have more that you're not showing me? We can go to a private place if there are more to show. But they seem to be the rudimentary building blocks.
I was covered in them. The rest are gone. This is all that's left.
Oh, the enchantments are fading.
In a way.
How very intriguing. I've seen many of your kind, the sort of half-celestial, the descendant of celestial, or progeny of them. But I have yet to see one so heavily influenced by a hand of one of the higher divine. The one who laid these on you would have to be very high in the echelon of angels.
Perhaps even a totem archon would have been required to create such an interesting collection of such things.
Well, I know who did them. Just looking up the name. It was my father. His name was Veramas.
Fortunately, the name has no meaning to me, which I do apologize for. There are a lot of Celestials, and they do not mingle much with lower beings. Whereas I partake of a certain level of the Great Mountain, and certain other areas that I have been to, other positive energy planes. I do not know of such an Archon.
Well, he's...
However, your father would have had to have been fairly powerful to have been able to accomplish such a feat.
I guess so. I didn't know him that well. But he is moved on now.
Ah, I see. Unfortunate. Well.
Yep.
I do find this all very intriguing.
I have been curious to find someone that could potentially fix the runes. But I haven't had much time to look yet.
I see. Well, it is certainly beyond me. If you were to find an individual capable of creating such incredible things, I'm honestly not sure what your best take would be.
I planned on going to the embassy, Celestial Embassy, to see if anyone there would know.
Well, I wish you the best in your discoveries.
Well, thank you.
I have not spent any time in the Nexus myself, so.
I'm new there, so I'm figuring it out.
Well, I wish you the best of luck.
Oh, I had another question. This is... Do you know any Hiram Academy students that are particularly good in your course or any other Bard-related courses? Anyone stand out?
There are a few. Particular academy that you were from your academy or from
Yes.
others?
From Hiram Academy, yes.
Well, the most clever student that I've had come through here in a given amount of time, he goes by the name of Vera.
Vera?
Vera. With an F as in Frank.
Vera. Okay.
She is an individual that I believe has quite a bit of fiery red hairs and a bit of that sun affliction that people have with the spottiness.
All right. I will try to find her. Thank you.
Well, I hope to see you in another one of my sermons, yes? He kind of just hovers up and
More
see you on
about
the
the
top of the head.
runes. I'll check it out.
Oh, yes, I shall be investigating these quite thoroughly myself. Imagine if I actually saw something that had been placed by a toe mark on. So rare. Probably not, though. His name's not on the name, but a different list of the toe mark on. Sorry, he keeps talking as he's walking away.
And then I'll head to the cafeteria place for lunch to meet up with Caldwell after.
Awesome. Meanwhile, following lunchtime, Seti, I believe you have a lunch meeting of 2 people.
Well, we are currently still with Idrisma.
Oh, that's right. You're with your Drizma. Yeah, we got to cut back to that. All right. So
Yeah.
you two guys with your Drizma. So you sit down and he's made you tea and says, "What is the situation about necromancy?" So you begin to, tell him the information so far that you've learned. Or you could do it in character. It's entirely up to you. But
I'm gonna show him my
said that-
little mushroom picture too. Like I want to do this, but like with this.
Yes, interesting. That does not work quite the same way as a phylactery, but it is similar. The transportation, but not trapping of the soul is what you wish.
Good. There needs a little
Interesting.
piece of it, I would think, to move, right? It would need a
Your
little piece.
mushroom should be capable of that. The flesh and soul. But limiting it so it does not devour would be a process that you would need to maintain.
Okay. How so? Like it doesn't help if I just like use a little piece of the flesh.
I believe the requirement would be met with this knife.
he hovers over to the corner and he pulls out like a small box. It's only about like 6 inches long. And then he opens it up and you see a knife with like a sort of dark green blade.
This knife cuts not only the flesh but the soul.
Oh,
To cut a piece of both and then allow it to be ingested by your hybrid spore. Good too.
okay.
But then you would need to follow arcane practices to choose its development. I have access to this spell. You mentioned this cloning spell. I will show you the arcane runes and the structure, but you must not share this information with anyone.
I mean, like, not the particulars, right? Because I can still show off the spell at the
Not
Pentathlon.
the particulars of this spell, but yours will be quite different.
Right.
You,
No, of course.
you will need to create something unique.
Oh yes. No. Okay. Good. Yeah, I can try. I do know a little bit about necromancy and the mushrooms, so hopefully that will help.
Of course. This will not be free.
Okay. No, that's fine. What you want?
The soul knife will be 1,000 gold.
Oh, what if I just give you this? And I'll pull out my frostblade scimitar. What about this? A knife or a knife? Grim doesn't know the value of anything. It's like, what about this? I have a knife. You a knife or a knife, right?
This will call us even on the whole transaction.
Great. This is perfect. Okay, I knew I had a use for that sword. I wasn't really using it anymore anyway.
He sort of like gestures with a tentacle and it kind of hovers. He says,
We'll fetch a prize. Nice.
Great. Pleasure doing business with you.
Of course. I'll stop by any time.
Great. Thanks.
Does he have like stuff on display here, like
Mhm.
that, like said he could have just?
it's a little bit more cluttered and homey than you would expect for a shop. But
Yeah,
there's stuff.
but while they were talking shop and all that stuff. Kensetti have just kind of been taking a look around for anything particularly.
Sure. Is there anything specific you're
Cool.
looking for?
Not really, just anything that jumps out as like different or unique or like
Here's how
up
I'm going to do
her
this.
alley in some way.
Roll me a D100.
56.
56. I have to go look up what that is real quick.
I mean, I still need to sell my adamantine breastplate too. Unless somebody else wants it.
Once upon a time, I would have taken you up on that, but I got my robes now.
Yeah. Now that I'm just natively immune to crits, I don't really need it. It's just kind of in my bag.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm wearing that +2 breastplate that we found now.
Yeah.
What does adamantium do?
Immune to
Make sure
crits.
immune to critical hits.
Roll me another D100, please.
Another D100.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have guidance, but guidance.
61.
61. You happen to notice what appears to be a flask sitting on his mantle. And as you pass by this sort of like deep sort of metallic flask, you see what appears to be like a glint of eyes
Ooh.
looking at you in the reflection. And it makes you very nervous when you look at it for a moment.
Don't like that. Still kind of like look back at them, but like try to kind of like, I don't know, like she's kind of drawing away, but also trying to get a closer look. Maybe she'll just interrupt them. Be like, "Sorry, Drisma, this flask is watching me. What's up with the creepy flask?"
Oh, you should not worry about that. Just someone who did not pay their debts. Yes.
Oh, right. Okay. Cool. I'll just wave at the flask and kind of that like apologetic sort of shrug.
You see the eyes kind of narrow at you. And they sort of like fall into like the bend of the reflection. You sort of lose sight of them.
and then I
They,
will go
they
sit.
should have brought them a sword, like I did.
I will go sit
That
back
is
down
also
and drink my tea.
for sale, should you wish.
Oh, that's all right. I have enough creepy people watching me.
Fair enough.
All right. I think we're good.
Yeah, I need to go get Brogy. I think, honestly, me and Brogy and Mora, we might need to go just into the cradle, I think. This is going to take a long time, I think.
Yeah. That seems like a good idea.
As you guys step out, you find yourselves, back in the library. The look behind you, the crack is gone.
But that's not unsettling at all.
Yeah.
I'll call
Yeah.
Brogy. I'll be like, hey, Brogy.
I'm going to lunch.
So, Brogy, I think because we're not going to have enough time to make this thing, I think maybe we should probably just go into the cradle and
Brogy agrees with these first places.
and then we won't even have to pick up the box, right? The box will already be there. We can just pick
Yes,
them up.
Brogy agrees with this circumstances. Brogy will start packing.
You're muted.
I'm muted. You think Mora will come with us?
No, if I tell her to, Mora is very easily influenced.
Oh, yeah, she does seem that type, yeah. But yeah, no, we can go in there and we can just start crossbreeding. Need to, we need to do the mating of the cells, and the whole process. It's gonna take a very long time. Who knows? I mean, yeah, let's go do that. We'll go do that. Teddy is not there. Well,
I'm
she'll
here. I'm
figure
here.
it out.
I'm here.
So will you guys still be able to contact? I know that the cradles are open now. Will you be able to contact us if we are in there with the time dilation?
I
How does
don't
that work?
know. I can visit you when we're both sleeping, for sure. But I don't think my message spells are going to work. And I don't know that the calling stuff works either. That maybe I know there was like somebody had like a special call center thing.
As you remember, since the opening of the cauldron, you can communicate with the outside via the
Oh.
seals.
Yes, we're good.
Okay. So time dilation doesn't mess with that.
It kind of gets weird, but yes, it's fine.
Well, good. So then that's where we'll be. It's probably, yeah, it will probably be in there for. I just have to. It's a month to a day, right? So Grim cannot stay
roughly
longer than 6
roughly a
months.
month to a day. Yep.
Okay, let's hope 6 months isn't enough.
All right. Wow. Good luck, I guess. I have. We'll stay in touch.
Yeah, I'll probably have to bring the goats with me too. Hold on. It's gonna be a lot of stuff. We're gonna need a wagon.
Yeah. Well. Yeah. Yeah. You can't put a goat in a bag of holding. So.
I mean, you could.
If you
But
didn't
it
mind
might
it
not-
dying.
Yeah, I don't want it dying just yet.
Yeah.
Now I have a fancy knife I can cut up goats with. This is great.
Have fun with that.
Yeah.
I'm late
This
for
is very
lunch.
good.
I have to go.
Oh
see
yeah, you
Cleary.
have a good lunch. I'm going to go pack and move to another plane.
Okay. Well, we'll miss you.
Yeah, just call me once a month, and make
Right.
sure I'm not dead.
Well, likewise, call us once a day, I guess. And
No, if I call you once a day, then you call me once a day.
I call you once a day, you call us once a month.
I'll call you all once a month. Yeah, because if I call you every day, your seal is going to just be constant. Yeah, it's not going to be very good.
All right, got it. Okay, it's a plan.
Okay, great. Bye.
Bye.
All right. So as you complete this little exchange, and Grim begins packing for his excursion. Seti, you are headed off to your lunch meeting with Cleary.
Mm-hmm.
Does anybody else have anything that they would like to do during their lunchtime as well?
I'm just meeting with Caldwell to see what we both found out.
Okay. Minier?
Think so.
Okay.
I mean, the only thing he wants to try and do is anywhere someone's practicing like magic, he'd like to just kind of spectate.
That is the whole of Selindor Academy.
Right. So, but I mean, like, if there's like specifically a spot where people practice, throwing like stuff at targets or something, like he's just gonna sit there and like eat a sandwich.
And like some practice crowds. Yeah, you can find stuff like that in the halls of your edition. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so there are specific areas where people are just trying out their spells and just throwing them. It's sort of like just like the training grounds. And when you show up, it's similar to the place where you fought during the Animus Theater, which is where you guys fought everybody. It's like this sort of like circular thing, and you see that they're like this big platform disc that's just sort of inset, and there are people just casting spells and throwing them around down there. There's sort of like stands that match around, and you see there's a myriad of different people sitting there.
Yeah, he's just trying to take in, like shapes, movements, just all sorts of like the stuff they do to actually
Sure.
cast spells while he's eating.
Make me a perception check.
Perception. What? Perception. I'm gonna use my daily luck. That's better. 16.
16. I mean, you see that there's like a lot of individuals up to a lot of different things, but nothing really particularly catches your interest.
Yeah, just taking it in, not looking for anything specific right now.
Yeah, I mean, nobody seems to be practicing their, Neo-Arcana promulgation magic. It's just stuff you've seen before. Some of it's impressive, some of it's mundane.
Yeah, I'm happy with even like cantrips. I'm just.
You see that there are a few people who are practicing Wisp Wallop. They're just like, one person is just using minor illusion to create a wisp and then they're smacking it, sort of a practice situation. And that's kind of what the space is being used for. It's just like sort of practicing. Meanwhile, Oren, you meet up with Caldwell. He says, man, that was a pretty fucking interesting class, honestly.
Yeah, mine too.
It was weird. There were not that many people there. I'd never met the head, not the head, the master, the teacher there before. He sort of like looks confused for a second. But anyways, he didn't really have much information on it. What did you learn?
I got a name of someone that could potentially be what we need.
What's the name?
Fira. Apparently, there's like fiery hair, sunspots on her face.
Yeah. I know Fira. She's actually one of the representatives for the Alchemy Roulette. She's certainly skilled.
Good talker.
Well, she's certainly knowledgeable.
Well, we could interview her.
We could certainly try talking to her. I'm not entirely sure how she's gonna go with the whole thing, but yeah, we can try to approach her. Sure.
All right. So somewhere to start.
Somewhere to start, indeed. Well, I guess let's head to the Towers of Thought and go straight to the academy and see if we can spot her. Or we could ask around, or however you want to go about it.
Both. Head to the academy and ask around and see if we spot her.
Fair enough. All right, so you guys begin heading up and looking for information. Go ahead and make me an investigation check for now, to see if you find any information about where Fira might be at this time.
Oh God, 8.
8. So far, nobody really knows where she might be, but they all know about her and they speak relatively high praises whenever you ask about her. She's known as very clever.
Yeah, that could work.
Meanwhile, Seti, you knock on.
Friend number 2.
You knock on the
No.
the door of Cleary's room in the University of Phoenix,
Yes.
and he opens the door and he says, "Oh, Seti, yes, I've been expecting you. Come on in."
So, what do you got?
Well, this actually, and he gestures to the table where you see sitting is a small figurine that is carved into the shape of a dragon.
Oh. Wow.
The dragon has like a sort of crescent shape to where like a horn like fills the top of its nose and then swoops up to the top of its head. It's sort of like at a crescent shape. It looks almost alive when you look at it, and it's made out of this sort of sparkling white material, similar to the same material that you saw made out of the whatever the hell it's called. My brain will get there.
Sleeping Maiden?
sleeping maiden statue.
That's gorgeous.
Yes, this is my artificer's expose, figurine of wondrous power, as it were. Now, I know lots of these exist, and some of them were actually my own creation in my earlier days, but this one is rather special.
What does this one do?
Well, are you familiar with figurines of wondrous power?
Well, sort of. But just from you.
Well, I'm not particularly keen on doing this in my dorm room, so let me pull out this one. And he pulls out what appears to be like a small black statuette of a raven.
Mm-hmm.
And then he whispers something under his breath and tosses it into the air, and a bird starts flying around the room. Like lands on the corner. You see, it's similar in concept.
Oh. It makes like a whole actual big dragon.
Well, there are two phases. One can be used that after using it has quite a bit of time before it can regenerate that amount of energy, but used as a mount, yes.
Oh.
I actually developed it because, well, I knew the others still had their counterparts from the cauldron of life, and I thought that you might be
Very.
a bit lonely, and well, it's a useful thing to develop, and for Selindor in general. But I thought maybe when I was done presenting it, you could take it and yes, well, her name is
What'd you say?
Lumeska. He like sort of pats the statue. Her name is Lumeska, and she was a companion of mine for many years. And it was with her permission that I was able to craft this figurine. And well, should you ever need her, truly need her, you would be able to summon her to your aid.
Maybe that's incredibly sweet. That's... I don't know what to say.
Oh, well, it serves a myriad of purposes, and perhaps I'll win even. I know figurines of wondrous power are not breaking the bank, but we are, first and foremost, a school of artistry, and this, in my opinion, is one of the truest forms of art that you could develop. Truly capturing the essence of a living creature, and by their own virtue and consent, the ability to summon and emulate them. I thought it to be quite a fascinating procedure to make one of the highest caliber.
It's really beautiful. And I'm just sort of struck again by how what you do and what I do are not that different, obviously. I'm not at that scale, and when I make a song for someone, it is not to summon them, although in a way it is to remind me of them when we're not together. But what we practice is so similar at its essence to capture. I mean, obviously I've never met her and I look forward to meeting her, but this is stunning. I mean, I can very easily imagine her just coming to life. It's beautiful.
Well, I'm sure she will appreciate hearing that. Should you ever need her. But in the interim, she will remain with the University of Phoenix until the Artificer's Exposé is over, and then, well, and then she will be yours.
I don't know what to say.
Oh, you don't need to say anything.
I'll give him a hug.
He kind of.
It's okay, Cleary. You can hug me back.
He does.
This is the part where he goes, there.
Yeah.
Well, as you guys sort of pull apart, he's like, don't go spreading any information. I don't want anybody to copy my idea.
It will be our secret.
Well,
And I don't know who I'll be rooting for at the if assuming Orin gets in. I'll have three of my closest
I'm
friends
sure he
all
will.
competing against each other.
He does have the backing of the Celestial Smith. I highly doubt anybody else within the High Realm Academy truly made anything more impressive than what they did.
Well, then the higher-ups are keeping it close to their vest. But well, thank you for showing me.
Oops. Well, I'm sure you have more business to attend to. But yes, I do have a small. He just gestures over, and you can see like there's like a few platters of vegetarian food and stuff like ready to go.
Sure, actual lunch. Yes. Let's.
So you guys sit down and have lunch and continue talking about your day, and then you must move on to the next part of your day. What is everybody doing with their afternoon? What's up?
Important question. Did he plan to have lunch with her this day, or does he always keep vegetarian food handy because he always wants to use it?
We'll have to
They did
ambush
plan
him.
the
Who
meeting.
could say?
We'll have to ambush him when he hasn't invited me over.
Yeah. Well, what does everybody like to do with their afternoon?
I need to see Propsy.
Okay. So you begin asking around, and very easily they say she's in
I know where
alchemy
she
class.
is. She's in the same place every day. So I'll just try to grab her between a break.
Yeah, you sort of like see that she's like in the middle of an alchemy class when you first go down there, and you can see that they're moving from one thing to the next, but she's kind of like
Lost.
lost.
A little spaced out today.
Oh yeah, she's like a little bit like daydreamy in the middle of class, like sort of looking for things. But you see like some of the other alchemy students like walk over to her and they're like, "Hey, how do I do this?" And she's like, "Oh yeah," and she sort of like spends some of her time like helping the other students. She seems to be like something of a big wig in the alchemy because she's always studying alchemy. A lot of people come to ask her for notes or anything else, or like herbalists. Other herbalists will even walk up and be like, "I know you're really good at this." So she has kind of like a little like small group of fledglings that are learning and asking for bits of information from Bropsy.
She's alchemy mom.
As you walk into the room, Bropsy doesn't even notice you're there immediately, but it is at the end of a class, and the classroom's still there, and she's still plugging away. Seti approaches you, Bropsy, at your desk. Yeah.
You see Bropsy over here, like cutting up herbs for use, and
yeah, she'll just at Bropsy's convenience. I can wait until the class is over. It's not a big deal.
No, yeah, it's after a class, but
yeah.
this is one of those classrooms that doesn't break down because it's an alchemy room.
Sure.
Like it's like a new professor, and she's staying doing alchemy classes. So
yeah, so I'll just sidle on over, just like real quick, Bropsy. Hi, I don't want to interrupt your studies too much, but I wondered if you maybe still had that amulet that you used to wear. The one that protects you from being seen.
Aren't I still wearing that?
I think at some point you had to take it off.
I can check.
I thought that he made it not attuned anymore, but that I was still wearing it.
Oh.
Can you check for me, Orange? I am actually.
Well, that
checking
might not
for
be
you.
in your notes if that was like a homebrew thing.
You are
Yeah.
still wearing it. It's not attuned, but
Okay.
you do have it on.
Yeah.
Okay, never mind then, because I would probably, presumably, be able to see that you're still wearing it.
Yeah, should be added on her chest.
Never mind.
I mean, it would presumably be under my robes or something, but
Well, I guess just to not have to just nope out. Do you remember where we got that? Was that from Egelman's or one of the shops? Or did we?
amulet was.
I don't
this was
remember.
from the headmaster.
From who?
Oh, wasn't it from like the Primus?
Primus.
Or...
Mhm.
Yeah.
Oh,
Primus is the one who adjusted it for you.
Do
Okay.
you remember the bad day?
Yeah. Right. Okay. Thanks. I'm just so much going on today. Clearly, never mind. I'll tell you later.
Right. Is everything okay?
Yeah, no, it's I just he was sweet again, and it made me cry, and now I'm just.
Oh.
I promised him I wouldn't tell anybody though, so
Oh. Okay.
you'll see at the
What-
competition.
Oh. Okay. I'm a little concerned, but okay.
No, nothing to be concerned about.
Oh. All right then.
Anyway, good luck on your studies, and I'll give her enhance ability intelligence for the rest of the day.
I've been using that, hun.
Oh, that's right, you have it. Never mind.
Yeah. All right. So as you have that little conversation,
Bardic inspiration.
yeah, throw some bardic inspiration as you walk out and begin doing your afternoon stuff. Starting with Mitnir, what would you like to do with your afternoon before we close up for the session?
He's going to go sit by the fountain where he carved the staff
Mm-hmm.
and starts to give himself like a tattoo with the knife. But just like
Okay.
hand to like forearm is the space he's working in.
Okay.
And
Which
he's just like moonstone dust with the aquam, like nothing fancy, just the real base. Or I guess, yeah, just moonstone and aquam.
is there anything particular you're carving? Like,
so I can message you more of this afterward, but he's trying to copy enhanceability. Like the intent is enhanceability spell. I've been reading a bunch of stuff about how tattoos generally work, so I'll send you all that stuff too. But
sure, yeah, we can look at it. So you just spend some time carving on your arm.
and he's just imagining, like he's seen Seti use it, he's seen Bropsy, so any of the imagery and like stuff that comes from that's kind of where he's getting the inspiration for like the shape and everything.
All right, interesting. Oren, what are you doing with your afternoon?
Tracking down this bard lady.
Okay. We'll definitely pick that up next time, so you can talk to Vera for the first time. But make me another investigation check as you try to find her whereabouts.
22.
22. Yeah, interestingly enough, she has been the other person who has spent quite a lot of their time in the alchemy room and has spent the past few days actually tangentially with Propsy.
Uh-oh.
Amazing.
So we can talk about that later in the next session. Grim, obviously you are collecting all of your materials, getting your goats and wagons, and making your way down to... Well,
Wagons and goats and dirt and mushrooms. Yes.
yes. By the time you get there, Brogy's like, oh, Brogy has sent a message to the Crimson Dawn. His friend of Mushroom King says he can rid us a wild but to swim in to put goats in the place.
Yes.
But Brogy will cover the cost.
Okay. Thanks, Brogy.
Okay. Meanwhile, what are you doing with your afternoon, Seti?
I don't know, man. Maybe I'll call up Labra and then just be like, "Hey, can you move some more diamonds for me? Because I'm running low on cash."
Bros, man, I can totally move all those diamonds for you, bro.
I want to keep some in reserve, but how about we triple it this time? 15k worth of diamonds.
Yes, you are like super impressive with your diamond supplies, I must say. I can totally try to move some. You drop off, I'll find the buyer for you. No problemo.
All right, great. Actually, I suppose when I come to drop off, I had wanted to come down that way and talk to somebody named Malady. I can ask you for.
Oh, yeah, dude, this Melody's super cool friend.
Oh, really? Okay. Yeah. Could you introduce me?
I mean, like, super cool friend to me. Like, maybe, like, it will be super cool that you're there. Let's meet up later. I could totally try to talk to Malady with you.
Okay. Sure. Sounds good.
All right, sis. Catch you on the flip side.
We'll do that next time.
All right, so as you all bring your afternoon work to as much of a close as we can. God, I wish we were at least making it through one day every session.
Well, right now we just have so many like little things prepping.
I know
towards...
everybody's got a lot of things to work on. That's the thing.
Grim's
But
gonna
in the
be making
meantime-
it through lots of days.
We should
Maybe-
all
Yeah.
go to the cauldron and just spend a month there.
Yeah.
Catch up on everything.
Unfortunately, classes don't exist there to my knowledge.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Fine, we'll skip that.
Satellite campus.
Meanwhile, guys, thank you so much for hanging out. We love you, and remember, we did it for the
We
rolls.
did it for the
rolls.
Oh.
See you
We
next
got
time.
everybody. That was everybody. We did it.